Hey, what's going on, traders? I want to hit you up on our trade today. And first off, sorry for the clickbait. We did make a little bit more than $1 today. We closed the day at 336. However, at one point in our trading session today, I did lock in $1 profit, and I want to tell you guys what happened. First off, you hear this all the time when you're watching different traders, and I'm sure with any trader that you follow, they all say the same thing. You have to have a plan and stick to it if you want to be profitable. It's literally the most important thing because it takes away all emotional based trading, all fear of missing out, and it forces you to stick to things that made sense to you, which is why you made a plan in the first place. Usually when you make a plan, you're looking for things that make sense, and it forces you to stick to those things. So we caught out this trade yesterday. On our video yesterday, we called out this trade. We wanted to see Plug Power come into the open bullish today, buying up into the pre-market, and then we were planning on shorting it at market open. You can see that's exactly what we did here. We took a couple short positions, and I had these retracement zones mapped out here. And this third zone down here was my stop. And I want to explain, all right, why would you have a stop here if you're shorting it? And I'll show you exactly what happened here. So on this action, we were trading 2,000 shares. We're talking about a gap that was almost 4%, and I locked in $1. That's right, just $1. And I'll tell you why exactly what happened. This trade happened later in the session. But what happened, so we were planning on doing this exact trade all the way since yesterday. We had it mapped out and made sense to us. If you wanted to see why I was going to take this trade, check out my last video and I'll show you why I expected this to dip. First off, we started building a short position. So when you short a stock, that means you start with 0 shares and you actually sell shares. You borrow shares from the broker if they have them available, and you bet on it going down. So by market open, we ended up taking a short position at 35.42 and 35.22. So that was about an average entry of right about here, which is a really great entry. This sold off. We were up over $700 on this trade when the market sold off. And my plan was to sell and buy back at this center retracement zone. And so this was also a retracement zone that I had mapped out, which I've explained in numerous videos how I set these. But so basically what happened was this broke fast below my stop. What I did here was we were shorting 2,000 shares. We bought some back. We were up over $700. And then I bought another 1,000 shares. So I hedged my initial trade of 2,000 shares short, sold them all, and bought back 100 or 1,000 shares to buy the dip for the bounce back up. And so at this point, I was buying the stock. I was no longer shorting it. And we sold off. And so at this point, with these 3 candles, this was bringing me back into the red. And I closed this position because this broke much farther down than what I expected it to. And when I closed this trade here, I was net like $1.80. And the reason I closed there was because my support that I had traced out didn't hold, and it dipped. I was okay with it breaking a little bit below my support, but this was pretty aggressive. And we ended up losing that $700 trade. But my main point is that you have to stick with your rules and follow your plan. And one of my biggest rules is anytime I bet against a trade I've already taken, I usually take a smaller position size to hedge my gains that I've already made. And so by this point, we were up $700, but that's with 2,000 shares short. Closed that and bought just 1,000 shares, half of my original position size. And by the time I closed it out, if I hadn't hedged with a smaller position size for the buy side, then I would have lost money there, and I would have been down much more than $1 up. So that was the plan, to sell the dip and then to buy it back with a smaller position size. I stuck with that. It broke farther below my support than what I was comfortable with, and I was able to not take a loss on this trade. That's one of the biggest things to be consistently profitable. You know, part of being consistently profitable is being able to have a plan that where if it doesn't go your way, you can at least break even. I say that in so many videos, and that helps us avoid a red day right there by sticking to our rules, having a plan, sticking to it, sticking to our trading rules. Now, why did I take another position here? So I'll show you the rest of this trade. So we ended up taking another short position here at market open, or excuse me, at the, this was our closing price yesterday. So around this point, plug was not green, it wasn't red, it was up like 0.01% or something like that. So this is basically where we closed at yesterday. And the reason I felt like this was going to be an overall bearish day for plug in general was because of this right here. You can see this volume is increasing as we're selling off, and this is quite a lot of volume. So we had about over 660,000 shares at market open, and then it dropped to 160 on the next candle, and then as we sold off, we increased volume. It kept increasing, and that is very bearish right there. That is a very bearish sign. So you can see that day traders tried to push this, and we tested our pre-market high, which was 35.53. You can see that we got rejected here at market open, couldn't break our pre-market high, got rejected again, got rejected for a third time. By this point, the bulls were pretty much done. Bears are going to have control of the stock for the rest of the day. So I rode that down and took a little bit of a profit. This trade here was way more high risk than trading at the market open. This is typically not a trade I take very often, but I actually don't see a weakness like that's that obvious at market open either. That's kind of confirming that it's going to be a downtrend day. So I felt comfortable taking that trade, and all in all, we closed up $330. And that was pretty much it for the day. And but yeah, if you want to see why I took this original trade, just check out my last video. And if this was helpful for you, please give it a like. Let me know what you think. As always, have a plan and stick to it. Make sure you're sticking to your rules and trading smart. And I hope you guys stay green. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.